What's up guys, it's your friendly neighbourhood Gromit and welcome back to another vinyl haul. This is my vinyl pickups for the month of July. Now there is quite a lot here to get through. This has been probably my best month for vinyl hunting in the last 7 years. It's mainly due to the fact that I have really started to pick up buying vinyl again, and you can just see there's all the albums I've got over the last month. I've really been bulking out my collection. There's lots of cool stuff to show. So, and if the shirt and the music playing in the background gives anything away, I am sorry, but I do like a bit of foreshadowing. So, I think to start off with, we're going to look through all of these new singles that I got. Now, join me as I go and sit in the corner of my room like a sad human being that I am, and go through all these singles. So most of these singles that I picked up this month are from charity shops. Most of them cost 50p to about £2. And yeah, a lot of these are just jumbled around. I haven't really put them in any particular order, but we'll start with the Beatles finds, which I have got a few of this month. So starting off, we have a copy of Please Please Me. This is the second pressing, not on the red Parlophone label. Just going to... there we go. Next we got Strawberry Fields Forever. This is missing the middle part, and it's a 1976 reissue, when they pretty much reissued all of the singles. I got this for 50p. You know, when you see Beatles out and about, 50p, why not? Then we got Those Were the Days, Mary Hopkins. It's just a nice original copy. Now I don't have one in the collection, and you know, I guess Beatles related. It is produced by Paul McCartney and it is on the Apple label. Next we got Ringo Starr's It Don't Come Easy. So you can see there I got it from the Children's Society for £1.29 in the original sleeve there. Then we've got Back Off Boogaloo by Ringo Starr on the cool blue Apple label glare. Again, missing the centre. Then we have Photograph Ringo Starr there as well in the original sleeve. Next, and the last Beatles related thing I picked up this month, singles wise, it's Whatever Gets You Through the Night, It's Alright, It's Alright, with beef jerky on the back there. Yeah, great John Lennon single there. Now the rest of these are all jumbled up. They're all pretty much cost me 50p or less in separate different charity shops and a few collectible shops as well. So we'll start with an early T-Rex here, Hot Love. The English Roses, the Pretenders of course. Then we have Walking on the Moon by The Police. It's a really crisp original AM Records in a sleeve, by the way. And then we've got Frankie Goes to Hollywood, Two Tribes in the original picture sleeve there. Oh. More Pretenders, The Talk of the Town, original in a sleeve. Original sleeve, I should say, not in his sleeve. Then we got some Soft Cell. I do enjoy me a bit of 80s from time to time. Say Hello, Wave Goodbye. Again, original sleeve on that. Then we've got Fine Young Cannibals, Johnny Come Home, with the original picture sleeve, yeah. Then, a bit of Rod, why not? A bit of Rod Stewart. Then we've got Medicine Head. This is a British duo, kind of blues rock kind of stuff, and this is the Rising Sun single. Next up, Flying Heads, avant-garde pop kind of stuff. It's great rendition of Money there. Then Banana Republic by the Boomtown Rats. and pretty sure this one is I Don't Like Monday by the Boomtown Rats as well there. Move over a bit. Next up, an EP. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 by the Saints. Brilliant Australian punk here. I recently picked up a copy of I'm Stranded and sold it on. Got that one for about £3, the I'm Stranded album. Sold it for about 40 quid, which was great profit made. But yep, then I found this one, original EP. That one's a keeper for the collection. Bit of Judas Priest here with United and Grinder. Then we've got arguably Status Quo's best ever single, and that is of course Paper Plane, Softer Ride on the back there as well, on the lovely Vertical Swirl label. Next up, Dave Davies, Death of a Clown, Love Me Till the Sun Shines on the back of that one. Quite a common one you see around, and if you find it, pick it up, it's brilliant. Next up, a bit of Cliff. Why not a bit of Cliff? I love me a bit of Cliff. We'll see a lot of Cliff and the Shadows in today's video. Living Doll, his breakout single, Apron Strings on the back. Again, I say if you can find Cliff, Cliff's everywhere, man. You can't escape Cliff. And he's really good as well. I do love Quiff. I do love Cliff. Patchy the Shadows, brilliant rocker, surfy rock style thing. I think everyone's heard Apache at some point. Then on to some British Invasion stuff here. A Must To Avoid by Herman's Hermits. Again, most of these 50 pence really. I mean, it's 50p. And then we got I Call Your Name and Bad To Me, Billy J. Kramer and the Dakotas. This is Lennon McCartney pen tracks that they gave away to Billy J. Kramer. And of course, I Call Your Name eventually ended up on the Long Tall Sally EP. Great to find that out on the wall. Again, this is one that I thought I didn't have in my collection. I thought I needed to pick it up at some point. A Whiter Shade of Pale, Procol Harum. Yeah, it's just a classic single. Brilliant psychedelic rock. Then we got the founder of the Twist, Chubby Checker here with Let's Twist Again on a lovely shiny original Columbia Green label with Everything's Gonna Be Alright on the B-side. On to my last couple of single finds here. We've got Shalala Manfred Mann with John Hardy on the back of that one. Then we have That's My Little Susie by Richie Valens. It was really cool to pick this one up. Richie Valens, of course, taken from us at such a young age, and the songs that he did make were just absolutely brilliant. And then finally, we're ending off with a bit of Cliff. Like I said, you can't escape the Cliff, man. And it's Dynamite by Cliff Richard and the Shadows with Travelling Light. I think Travelling Light is actually the A-side on this one. Yeah, Cliff. Right, now that we've got through the singles, you're going to see my ugly face again now, and I'm going to go through the vinyl LPs that I got over the last month. So guys, that is it for the singles I've got this month. Just the most amount of singles I've got in such a long time. Plenty of variety in that lot as well. But now we're going to talk about the vinyl LPs I've picked up. Now I've got them in a particular order, starting with, I guess, the more boring ones. But none of these albums are boring, man. These are all brilliant albums. You know, if they were boring, I wouldn't pick them up for the collection. So we're starting off with a bit of Cliff. This is the Young Ones. Picked this up last week. It's on the original lovely green mono Columbia label there, and it's the Young Ones. It's Rick Mel's favourite. It's a brilliant album. You know what I mean? Stop hating on Cliff. Nothing wrong with Cliff. Then we've got Johnny Cash at San Quinto. San Quentin even, not San Quinto. It's got the original sleeve, and it's on the CBS label. Again, this is a must-have in any vinyl collection, and it is quite cheap, to be honest, to get these. So I found one out in the wild and picked it up. Another Johnny Cash here. This is Johnny Cash and the Tennessee 2 Showtime. This is a, I don't really know if this is a compilation or not, or if it's particularly from a certain set that Johnny Cash did, but I picked this up mainly because it is on, as you can see there, the Sun label, a classic label for any collector of vinyl. And yeah, again, picked this one up for £2, not bad. Next up, we've got the only album I don't really like that I picked up. It's the Hollies' Sing Dylan. This was a need for my Hollies collection. It is an absolutely terrible album, I'm sorry, but I mean, it's 1969, guys. What are you thinking? You could have been doing some wild blues, psychedelic rock, but instead they decided to fucking put out an album full of Bob Dylan covers. I mean, come on, fuck me. But this is the reason that Graham Nash left the Hollies as well, because they were, I guess they were forced into making it by their producers and their managers. But it's I mean, come on, man. Bob Dylan covers. But this is pretty cool, actually. It's an original Parlophone, and it's a factory sample, not for resale there, you see. So yeah, the Hollies Sing Dylan. It's a pretty shoddy album. I'm sorry to anyone that likes this album. If you really like it, I mean, I love the Hollies. Fucking check out my last video, which was literally just the Hollies. If you actually enjoy this album, then good on you, good on you. But for me, you know, if I want to listen to Bob Dylan, I'll listen to Bob Dylan. I don't need to hear Alan Clark singing Bob Dylan for me. Next up, Wild Honey, the Beach Boys. This is one of my newer pickups. It's a brilliant album. This is kind of the last album where Brian Wilson really had some serious impact in the writing. This is the album they put out after Smiley. And yeah, original sleeve there, and it is on the Capitol label there, 1967, was sold in the UK in mono. This has Darling on it, but also some of the tracks I like on this album, I'll go through them real quick. Some of the tracks I like on this album, Wild Honey of course, I love, I really like Aren't You Glad as well, Country Air, How She Boogalooed It, Here Comes the Night as well, is brilliant off that album. Now we're getting on to some fucking good stuff, guys. This is some really good stuff that I've picked up this month. And we're starting off with the Kinks, their debut album on Pie Records. This is a original mono pressing of it. Sleeves in good plus condition. You know, there's no one's like tore it or anything. There's the label, mono of course. I don't think they really pressed this album in stereo. And if they did, it was probably what's it called, electronically engineered stereo. The record plays really good on this one actually. Next up, it's Something Else by the Kinks. Covers poor, but this is easily one of the best Kinks albums. It's absolutely fantastic. So I wouldn't call it necessarily psychedelic, but very interesting, out-of-the-box thinking from Ray Davies and Dave Davies, of course, here. Very British album on the Pie label again, in mono, and this sounds beautiful. Absolutely beautiful pressing of that album to get. Next up, we have some Rolling Stones with Out of Our Heads. Picked this one up at Fat Bob's CD and vinyl in Barrow Furnace, a new shop just recently opened. Originally was in the market in Barrow, but due to certain legality things, he's opened up his own shop now, which is even better, isn't it, when you think about it? So there we go. There's the back. This is of course in mono. And there is the original Decca mono red label with the groove on the label as well. So yep, now we're getting on to the Beatles. We'll do it in chronological, well not chronological, in order by date. So I picked up a mono copy of Sgt. Pepper's for 20 quid. Very good deal for 20 quid. Show you the inside. There we go. There's Paul, John, George and Ringo. Besides the original cutouts. And it has the original red and white inner sleeve. So it's a complete copy. Here's a lovely Parlophone black and yellow label. This is the definite version of Sgt. Pepper's stereo. It's still a brilliant sounding record in stereo, but there's so much more fullness, and it's fat and bold and says a lot in mono. So yeah, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band is in my collection in mono. Next up, picked up a copy of the White Album. This number is 537,195. This doesn't have any inserts on it, but it only cost me about 15 quid, which is always great for an original White Album. There's the inside, and the records do in fact look really nice, and they do play really well as well. Side 1, side 2, there's side 3, and side 4. So yeah, it's missing, well, everything, to be honest, apart from the vinyl in the sleeve, but the vinyl itself is in good condition. Not a lot of crackle, not a lot of pop, and definitely no skips on that one, so that's brilliant. Next up, got our original UK pressing of Abbey Road. The sleeve's pretty poor on this one, but again, the record's not too bad. It's very hard to get a perfect sounding copy of this album, Parlogram Auctions will tell you, and it is true. Certain songs on here are very quiet, and you know, even the tiniest bit of pop and crackle will interfere with that. But I like the listening experience of this one with the little bit of pop and crackle that is on it. Here's the nice original dark Abbey Road label. I'm sorry, by the way, I'm doing this in portrait mode, so I'm sorry that it's what's the word, mirrored or whatever. And there is side 2. This one doesn't have the Her Majesties on it, and it's a -1, well -2, -1 matrix. The definitive sound in Abbey Road, one of the greatest sounding albums of all time, if you ask me. Then we have a copy of Let It Be. This is a 1976 pressing. You can tell because it does indeed have the Parlophone logo on the back of that one. And it's on a lighter apple label, lighter green there. Side 1, side 2. But, I mean, this is still a great sounding album. It's all analogue. It's not the original 2U cuttings. It's, I think it's like 3U on this one, or 4U, something like that. But it still sounds great. It's still a great sounding album. So, we're on to the last album, and I said before that I like foreshadowing, and the big find for July is Black Sabbath's Paranoid. And yeah, I am so happy to finally own a copy of this album, an original UK, on the vertical swell. There's the inside, Ozzy, Geezer, Bill and Tony. And here is the original vertical swell label. Big swell. Later pressings had vertical at the top, and the swell was a bit tinier. Record is in good condition. Again, pop and crackle, pops and cracks throughout, which is to be expected. but it skips once on War Pigs as well, but it's like the first 2 seconds of War Pigs, but the rest of the album plays through fine. And I got this for 30 quid, which is pretty fucking good for, you know, an original, pretty much any Vertigo Swirl, let alone Black Sabbath's Paranoid. So yeah, and the rumours are true. This sounds fucking amazing. Stunning sounding album, this. And if you want to get a copy of Paranoid for cheaper than a Vertigo Swirl that still has the original cuttings of the album, there's a WWA pressing from 1973, which isn't the Swirl. It's when Black Sabbath transitioned over to WWA. They released Sabbath Bloody Sabbath on that label. That still has the original 1Y1 and 2Y1 cuttings of side 1 and 2. But yeah, Black Sabbath's Paranoid, fucking brilliant. So yeah, that is my vinyl finds for July 2023. I'll be making a new one for August 2023, which will include probably the back end of July 2023 as well. But most of these, and I guess these ones as well, some of these I picked up in late June. So yeah, anyways, thank you for watching. This has been Gromit, and I'll see you in the next one. Just had a oh shit moment as I was packing my stuff away from that video. Also picked up a copy of The Doors' LA Woman for 20 quid. This is a 1976 repressing on the Butterfly Electra label. Absolutely sensational album. Anyone who knows me knows that I love The Doors. So, I mean, this has the challenging, Lover Madly, probably one of, oh, pointing in the wrong place. Lover Madly, probably one of the standout songs of The Doors, catalogue. But also we have The Wasp, one of my favourite Doors songs, and Riders on the Storm on this album as well. Jim Morrison's last, before he took that fateful bath. So yeah, thank you for watching, guys. Sorry about this, but yeah, The Doors' LA Woman. Also, I got a bit of Cliff.